Shalom, Yasharala. This is Yeshaya back at you with another Car Chronicle. This one I'm actually parked up. I get to actually go over scripture. That's why you see me without a head covering. But anyway, on to the point. I wanted to go over a couple scriptures that appear, if you're a man that doesn't use wisdom or a person that doesn't use wisdom, to contradict each other. And it's not that they contradict each other. There's an understanding to why they say something different. Isaiah 58:1, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sin. So here it's telling you to take an aggressive approach to preach it, right? It's telling you to, spare not. The way you spare not is, you don't spare nobody's feelings, you don't spare anything, right? You go out there and let it all out. Now, Proverbs 15:1 says something that looks a little different. It says, a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. So here you're being encouraged to give a soft answer. And in Isaiah, you're being told to spare not, right? So how do you reconcile the two, right? Because they're literally telling you two different things. And there's a lot of instances in the scriptures that you're told to do one thing, and another scripture you're told to do another. And I'm going to explain to you very simple. This is why you need wisdom to deal with the Bible. Because with wisdom, because there are books of wisdom. Proverbs is a book of wisdom. When you read the Bible using wisdom, you could go right to Ecclesiastes 3:1 and see where it says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. Almost everything that you do, there's a time for it. It says a time to be born and a time to die, right? Those are two things that total contrast, but there's a time for each. There's a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. So there's a time to farm, to put seeds in the ground, and there's a time to take the fruit out of the ground. There's a time to kill and a time to heal. So going back, it says thou shalt not kill, right? But there's a time to kill. Just like that movie, a time to kill, right? There's a time to do so. That's during war, that's to defend yourself, and then there's a time to heal. There's a time to break down, and there's a time to build up. Is breaking things down always a bad thing? What if you have an old ass building and you want to renovate it? You can break it down and then build it back up. Right? There's a time to weep and a time to laugh. There's a time for you to have tears in your eyes, and there's a time for you to laugh and smile. Right? Because you have brothers in this faith that honestly don't have that knowledge and wisdom to understand, there's going to be times when we're going to laugh and smile. We're going to be okay. In this kingdom, there's going to be times like this. You don't have to be always fucking continuously sad. There's a time to mourn and a time to dance. There's a time to cast away stones and a time to gather. So this is something that people don't understand. There's no balance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. Right? There's a time to do all these things that are different from one another. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. That's very difficult for a lot of Israelites. A lot of you got big fucking mouths and a lot of y'all talk too fucking much. Y'all don't understand the art of knowing when to speak. And that's insane how grown-ass men in this truth don't know when to shut the fuck up and when to talk. I always do videos telling brothers, shut the fuck up. Stop talking so goddamn much. A time to rent, a time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. That right there, that chapter right there, from verse 1 to 8, is some of the best writing and some of the most wisest, some of the best wisdom that you can apply to the scriptures. When you think that the scriptures are giving you an ultimate rule, they're not always giving you an ultimate rule. And what I mean by ultimate rule is there are times where advice that's given to you in one chapter does not apply to the situation. For example, if somebody has a gun that's in front of me and I got a gun on me, is it a time to turn the other cheek? I don't have a gun, by the way, at this time, but I'm just saying an example. If I'm at camp and I have a very confrontational person in front of me, is that the time to turn the other cheek? No. So turn the other cheek doesn't apply to every situation. Just like a soft answer, turn away wrath does not apply to every situation. Just like cry aloud and spare not does not apply to every single situation. Now, what if you have a person that's dealing with, that lets you know, listen, I'm dealing with depression, I'm trying to get better, I'm trying to get right with the Lord. Is that the time to tell them you're a piece of shit, you're this, you're a sinner, you're wicked? Well, you should never really take that type of, unless it's somebody that's a demon trying to argue, but there are proper times and ways to do almost anything. And you have to have the knowledge and wisdom and understanding to know when to apply or employ certain tactics or certain methods. You know, somebody that comes to the camp humble and seeking knowledge, are you going to talk to them crazy? Are you going to be like, you're not supposed to do this? No, you're going to come to them the way they come to you. You know, you're going to be gentle the way they're gentle to you. Now, somebody come to camp, start mouthing off, and I'll fuck y'all niggas up. Now you got to, you know, make your face hard against their face, like Ezekiel 3:8 says. You know, there's a time for that too. You know, I never said in my teaching that you should teach soft. I've always said your teaching should be wise. When you teach, you should read the room. And a lot of brothers don't know how to read the fucking room. They're you know, they say things like, that women think are us putting women down with women walking past. No, you save that for when it's only men, because they'll understand. Women think you're putting them down. You know, but I think if we apply the knowledge and wisdom of the book of Ecclesiastes 3 verses 1 through 8, we get an understanding of, okay, there's a time to do all things. There's a time you want to, you know, make love to your woman, you can do so. There's a time when you have to tell your woman, nah, I can't. It's a Sabbath, you know what I mean? There's a time when you can kick back, have a good time. And there's a time when you have to work, right? Like right now, I'm at work. I'm waiting for the crew. And, you know, it's not time for me to drink. It's 7 in the fucking morning, 7:30 in the morning right now. You know, drinking comes later. You know, winding down comes later. You know what I mean? Like, playing Madden comes later. Right now, it's work time. So I'm dedicated right now to my job. Fortunately, I have a little downtime right now because I'm waiting for the crew. So I get to do this video. But, you know, there's a time to everything, you know? That is knowledge and wisdom that a lot of people don't have, especially people that read the Bible too literal. And they apply things, like I said, turn the other cheek disagrees with, or they think it disagrees with, making your face hard against their face. But the truth of the matter is, it's a time for you to make your face hard, and it's a time for you to turn the other cheek. That's all it is. But with that, I'm going to say shalom.